And a very good Saturday morning still to you out there as you join us here for Talking Horses presented by Saratoga Water. Chris Griffin joined by Paul Verderosa as we get set to go through 9 races on the card. And sloppy conditions today. We saw a fast main track today, yesterday, but we got a sloppy track today.
Yeah, we'll see how the track plays today. I think it's important to note yesterday we had a really big inside speed bias going on yesterday. So shades of the old inter-track days. We haven't seen one of those days, I think, since the beginning of the year. I think it was back in January or February. So you want to keep that in mind with horses going forward. Today we did have some rain. So the track condition changed. It's a little sloppy out there today. We'll see how it plays. It's also warmer out today, so maybe we'll have a little bit more of a fairer racetrack. We'll see how it plays out.
Do you really see that happening? I mean, how do you see it playing out? I mean, you talk about that inside bias, but how much is the track going to change for you, and how many races into the sequence do you need to go before you know what those changes are?
I think we'll know right away. Probably after the first 2 or 3 races today, we'll see how speed plays out. I would hope it's a little bit fairer. Fingers crossed. We'll see what maintenance did to the track and how it plays out.
All right, we're going to get right into handicapping in just a moment, but reminder to check out all these great things that we've got over at Naira Bets, of course, and we've got that $200 deposit match bonus. You can sign up, use that promo code BONUS200. Go to nairabets.com. You got a QR code right there. Visit the site for more details. Also, we got track stats. That's right. You can bet smarter and win bigger. You can bet the action with Aqueduct with weekly track trends, statistics, betting insights. It's all at nairabets.com. You don't need to hear from me. Go out there and check out the track stats. Of course, we've got 10-time rewards points. It's on Hong Kong. Every race day in December, you can opt in at nairabets.com. 10 times those rewards points, and those reward points, they do come in very handy.
Yeah, they add up quickly, too, and you can use them and redeem them for a few things.
How many Hong Kong races do you like? I mean, you take a look once in a while?
Yeah, I'm a definitely international racing guy. So whether it's Hong Kong or Europe, I'm there.
All right. Also, we've got some the $10,000 hit and split. That's right. You can hit that late pick 5 at Aqueduct. Split the $10,000. Opt in at nairabets.com. Do you like the late sequence today, late pick 5?
Yeah, we'll take I mean, there are some horses that you can maybe lean on in there. We'll see, but some races where you can spread.
All right. And outside of the hit it and split, then we got one more, of course, the cross country pick 5. It covers races right here at Aqueduct, the 8th and the 9th, the Alex M. Robb Stakes. It'll start in race number 8, that sequence, and then races 7, 8, and 9 at Oaklawn Park. It's the cross country pick 5. So make sure you head on over to naira.com/cross-country. Get involved in that wager. Starts about 3:35 Eastern time. All right, 9 races on today's card. You're going to catch all that action on FS2 and FS1. It's America's Day at the races. On FS2 from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and then FS1. Jump over to FS1 at 4 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. So great coverage all day long on some wet weather, but should be still a great day of racing and nice, good field sizes as well. So check it out on FS2 at 3 o'clock, FS1 at 4 for America's Day at the races. I'm not wearing a tie, but you are, so you're going to be making all the selections here on today's show.
You want to borrow it?
Coming with all the winners. You had a few winners yesterday, right?
I did, yeah. 3 for 9. Just a couple of double-digit winners was nice to see.
All right, let's jump right in the sequence here. Taking a look at race number 1, and you will see Paul Verderosa's selections throughout this Talking Horses segment. Taking a look at that first race, 1 rider change towards the outside in the 10. Luis Rivera Jr. is going to be aboard Steel Vengeance. Looking at that 7 furlongs, where'd you end up here? It's a maiden race at that $90,000 purse.
Yeah, second-time starter for me. The number 3 Captain Cook going out for Rick Dutrow. Got off to a really troubled start in that race at Churchill Downs. If you go back and take a look at it, kind of got bumped and shuffled around and crowded, but ended up having a wide trip after that out in the 5-path, even wider in the stretch, and picked up some horses late. It was an even run for this horse. I like seeing an even run out of a first-time starter, especially if they run into a little bit of trouble. Second time out for a barn that's rolling in Rick Dutrow now. You're probably not going to get too much of a price right now, even money on this horse, but we'll see what this horse can do. Second, I have the 9 Gray Ace. A little bit of a price play in here. I kind of feel like last time out, I know the race didn't come up fast on paper, but Gray Ace actually could have won that race at 17-1 last time out. Got a little bit wide coming off of the turn, and it ends up hurting the horse a little bit in the late stages behind a Ray Handel first-time starter that was well meant in there. And if you're looking for a little speed, I would take a look at the number 2 at Lal, excuse me. Showed a lot of second-time improvement for Bill Mott, getting with more speed and being able to stretch out a little bit today with 7 furlongs.
Yeah, and how much do you look at sloppy track form? I mean, if you can see a wet track on in their running lines, is that going to make a horse move up significantly, or are you going to take a stand against? Because you talk about the horse like the 2 at Lal, you do see that debut effort was over a sloppy track at Churchill. Is that going to tell you that, not sure this horse kind of handled that sloppy track, or just because it was a debut effort, you're willing to give a pass?
Well, all sloppy tracks or all off tracks play differently depending on the track surface and where you are. At least the horse was forward. wasn't that far out of it early on. And last time out was actually up on that pace. And the winner of that race, Rookie Card, did have a little bit more experience at the end of the day.
Showing 1-5 right now on the 3 Captain
Maybe
Cook.
I moved some money there.
I
don't know.
Obviously, very early in the wagering there, Captain Cook at 1-5. I'm sure that'll change and adjust as we do go on. And a little disappointed though you didn't have my namesake, the Griffin's Wharf. I mean the 6.
Yeah.
No shot.
I think that was the proverbial 5th pick for me. Moved forward last time, I'll give you that much. Did move forward a little bit last time. So.
All right.
It was part of that entry, actually, with that first time start of that one.
That will start off the early pick 5 here at Aqueduct. Again, 9 races on the card and a sloppy main track right now, as we will see some weather maybe throughout the day. It looks like it wasn't really raining that hard.
I think it's supposed to slow down in the afternoon.
All right. Race number 2 does start the early pick 4. 1 mile is the distance, and we got the 1. Ironman Ira is going to be scratched in that race, and taking a look at this second race with 1 pound over on the 6 Concord Spirit. Where'd you land here in today's second?
So I think I just heard in my ear also that the 2 Liberty Central just also scratched
Very
out.
good.
So this race kind of lost now 2 speed players in here with Ironman Ira, who projected to be the speed on the inside, and now Liberty Central as well. So I'm going to, I have the 5 Rock the Weekend on top for Katie Davis, and I just wonder now if this horse is going to get the pace that this horse needs to get the job done. Certainly has outrun the odds and has been much improved in the last 2 starts. We'll see what we get today, but now losing some of the horses that had a little bit of speed in here, I kind of question where that pace is going to come from. The number 3 Tomicon, has better races versus lesser, and on the surface switch showed a little bit of speed. Also, the 8 Hey Toby may flash a little bit of speed, and Nunzio as well. We'll see if this horse is forward on the cutback in here and if I get enough pace. But I think the horse that we're going to have to talk about, too, a little bit is the horse that I picked second in here, the 4 St. Gaudens, going out for Chad Brown.
All right. You're talking about the 4 and St. Gaudens off of those minor placings, and this horse has been bet every single time. 3 out of 4 times the horse has been the betting favorite. And you talked about the bias yesterday that you felt like, that speed bias down towards the inside, but you picked a horse on top in Rock the Weekend. So was that working on the assumption of a little bit of that weather, some of that sloppy track? I'm going to take a horse that is going to come from off the pace because I do think that the track maybe trends a little bit more towards some of the closers having a better opportunity.
And I also thought we'd have a little bit more pace in here with Ironman Ira and Liberty Central. Now Liberty Central is out too, so we'll see. In the 4's case, though, in St. Gaudens' case, if you break down this horse's races, you take a look at the debut race, that was a race where was up against the track that day. There was an inside bias that day. Second time out, that was a big win. Finally got stretched out. The horse wanted to go a mile. Then you go to the race on March 24th and kind of rushed up in that race to engage with the winner, eventual winner of that race too. So maybe that took a little bit out of the horse. And last time out, Dr. Kraft got to save ground. This horse went a little bit wide, kind of lugged in a little bit, and now has been away for a while. Chad has okay numbers coming back off layoffs like this. So for me, we'll see what we get out of this horse today. I'm just hoping for a little bit of pace for Rock the Weekend. We'll see how much I get now.
And from a condition standpoint, Rock the Weekend is a multiple winner in this race.
Yes, and has been getting better and has progressed well. Has a couple of 70 buyer speed figures on off tracks.
All right, race number 3 is the Gravesend, and that's going to be a $150,000 person there. 66th running of the race, and 6 furlongs is the distance. A nice sprint in here. Taking a look at some familiar names that we've seen on this circuit, and where'd you land here in race number 3 as you go to the Gravesend?
I ended up landing on Full Moon Madness in here, the 2, and it was really nice to see this horse come back last time out and be able to get that race in, be able to settle just off the pace, and be able to get the job done in there. Now it's good to see this horse actually pair up races, be able to put them together in a stakes race. He's such a cool horse, good horse, a nice horse to see. And, you know, that race off 11 months was a big race for this horse. And listen, we've seen before with Full Moon Madness that this horse can run well. Second time off of a layoff. Did it back in November of 23, was able to up figure substantially in that race. Should get some pace in here to run at. Doesn't necessarily need to be on the lead in here. The horse inside Tivy's got some speed. We'll see what the 3 running Son of a Gun, who we'll talk about in a minute, it does as well. And also Toxic Gray, because Toxic Gray is also going to be going forward pretty early in this race, you would think.
Do you think that they all have to go to the front, though, in order to be their best running style? I mean, who do you see fit? If you do see a lot of speed in here and you think that they're all going to go towards the front, who absolutely needs the lead in order to be able to win this?
I would think Toxic Gray's best way of going and winning this race would be going to the front in here, especially considering the last 2 races. this horse has been thriving again, really, now that this horse is back with Mike Maselli. The last 2 starts have been really good, and really 2 starts back ran into El Grande O, who we're going to see a little bit later on, who could have ran in this spot.
Sure.
Linda chose the spot later on, going the mile, so we'll see. Best bet is to send this horse early. Running Son of a Gun's an interesting horse because last time out, Running Son of a Gun really kind of took Joel up into the race. It's not that Joel was sending this horse by any means, and he was feeling good and took it to Giant Mischief in there, so gave Giant Mischief everything he could handle, just didn't win the race. So this horse has been going well again for the Toscano barn. We'll see what we get. That horse is a logical pick in here, and I have the horse third.
And what did you think of Maximus Meridius? I mean, you've talked about some of your selections in there, and you've got Maximus Meridius picked second. John Velasquez is going to be the new pilot aboard here this afternoon.
Last 3 races have been sharp. I mean, you can't argue this horse's form. I know it's been out of town, but ran really well, and the horse that won the Steel Valley Sprint over at Moaning Valley, Valentine's Kansas, 6-time stakes winner. This horse should get a good trip in here, 2 back. If you look at the race, fought all the way for the 6 furlongs and really ding-donged it out and got the job done. So this horse may be able to just sit right off of the leaders and get a trip in here. I have the horse second in here. This is a fun little race for the end of the year when you get everybody together.
Yeah, I do know the connections have felt like Maximus Meridius pretty talented individual, and I know that they've yelled at him, a 3-year-old gelding, and you see the different jockeys, and you kind of start to kind of wonder who fits the jockey the best, kind of thing, as far as seeing multiple changes in there, and just kind of wondering, because he's been a little bit of a tough character actually in this 3-year-old campaign, and just kind of getting him focused.
All of the riders that you've seen ride this horse are all horses that Butch Reed uses.
Sure.
So it doesn't really concern me. Michael Sanchez rode the horse last year, and this horse has New York form to go off of. Didn't win a race here, but ran exceptionally well in the starts that they were in. Joel Rosario's ridden for him, Abner Adorno, Paco Lopez, Frankie Pennington. So see Johnny V up is obviously you're not going to complain when you get a Hall of Famer like Johnny V to get on your back.
Absolutely.
So this horse should be able to run well.
Did you feel like there's a horse that does move up with a sloppy track as far as the conditions?
I guess if you look at it, they've had some limited experience over off goings. I mean, Maximus Meridius does have the most wins out of the group with 2. I just think at this level they're good enough horses that the track should not really hinder them.
Very good. Going into race number 4 and taking a look at 9 races on the program once again. So this does start the pick 6. Get involved in the pick 6, which got hit for about 20,000 yesterday in that sequence. It was a nice sequence, and I think it was only paying to the 1, if I saw correctly in the pick 6. Maybe there were a couple options, but Akin Musuri
got the
job
done
out in the center of the racetrack there. Dylan Davis picking up the late double. Race number 4 does start that pick 6. 16,000 non-winners at 2 lifetime. A claiming race in here, and it's going to be at that 6.5 furlongs. Do have a full field of 10 signed on, unless we've got some scratches here recently. Jockey change on the 10 is going to be Eric Cancel will be on the 10. I'll have a reprise of scratches and changes coming up a little bit later. But the 10 with that outside draw, Eric Cancel picks up the mount. Race 4 started the pick 6. Where do we go?
This was a race where I really just boiled it down to 2 horses, the 3 Ride Up and the 6 York Tavern. And in Ride Up's case, I'm hoping that Ride Up shows some speed off of the layoff. This horse has run well enough here with figures that are good enough to win this race. Just hasn't sealed the deal yet here at Aqueduct to get the job done. But I'm hoping this horse pops right out with speed today. And this is the right spot for this horse back in for the $16,000 non-winners of 2 tag. So for me, it was just a simple play of this horse hopefully getting out in front of the others and just going wire to wire in here. The 6 York Tavern was the other horse that I was interested in. For me, this horse runs well all the time, just doesn't win. Just 1 for 21 in this spot, and has never gone shorter than 7 furlongs. He's going to go to 6 today or 6.5 today. So we'll see what we get out of this horse. I wonder if today we're going to see this horse just set up shop a few lanes out of it on the cutback and be able to hopefully try and run down the 3 Right Up. But for me, it was just a lot of 3s and 6s and then everybody else. Yeah,
the 3 is coming in fresh. You talk about that flashing that early speed, but not seen since 2023 in September. Seems to be working well. Romero Mirage, he's kind of had, I don't want to say he's got that front-running style, but he's definitely been placing horses into the races early. Some of the races that you do think about, Mama's Gold comes to mind right away. But that layoff, the time off, coming back in a $16,000 claiming race, there are some question marks there. So what does the 3 Ride Up need to look like on the track and maybe in the paddock as we get ready for that 4th race in order for you to be really convinced that, yeah, that's the top pick?
Fit and on his toes. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay.
See what we get. It's been now going on say 15, almost 15 months. You're
Yeah.
talking about a layoff now. So, but the horse seems to have worked all right. You know, the last couple of works have been in the right direction when you've looked the last 3 or 4 works. So I'm just hoping, like I said, for speed off the layoff and get in front of these. And I think that's you'll know right away, because if this horse is not showing any speed early, you'll know that this horse is not low.
And then 2-1 morning line favorite on the 6 in York Tavern. Do you see this as a vulnerable favorite in here? You picked the horse second, but coming off a second beaten 5, second prior to that, has been at this level for a while. Does land at 2-1, but maybe there are some questions. A pretty vulnerable favorite.
I'm just wondering if they're hoping that the sprint race is going to help them with a little bit more pace in front of them. We'll see what we get at a Majestic Arc from the rail, and also maybe Violent Swing showing a little bit of that speed as well. So we'll see if, first of all, the 3 is faster than them, or if there's a little hitting up front that will hopefully benefit the 6. So it's interesting that this horse is going 6.5. If I see Wayne Potts, I'll have to ask him why the cut back all the way back, because something for a horse was never done in 21 starts.
We'll find out what happens there in pick 6. I hear you guys talking to my ear. Does that mean break time? Do you guys need a break real quick, and we get into the later sequence?
One more.
Okay, after
go
one
one
more, there we go.
we'll go one
There
more.
we are. There's the guys giving me a shout there. Rookies.
No,
discussion.
they're doing a great job.
No, me. I'm talking
Oh,
about
you?
me,
I was
the
like,
rookie.
don't pick on any of them in the truck. I'm like, they're doing a great job.
Oh, those are my guys back
Yeah.
there, and girls back there doing always a great job. 6 furlongs, race number 5, taking a look at the late pick 5 sequence and looking at a maiden race, maiden special weights for the state bred, scratch of the 4 and the 11. So the 13 is going to draw in right now.
This was a horse that I probably should have put up a little higher. I would probably put this horse now 3rd or 4th in my picks. Just full disclosure, you don't have to change them, guys. I mean, but now with the scratch to put that in for Wesley Ward, this horse is going to take money from the outside, I am sure, and probably show a little bit of pace, which probably hurts my top pick in here.
Yeah, you got 3, 12, 9, 8 in there, your top 4 selections. Where would you move the 13 into that spot? I mean, we're looking at those 4 taken right now, but again, scratch the 4 and the 11, so where would that 13?
I'd probably go 3, 12, 13, 9 in this spot at this point, yeah.
We'll talk about your winning selection here, and that's going to be the 3 Blue-Eyed Scout. Does have 3 races of experience, puts the blinkers on, and now off of that second beating the length last time as the favorite.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this horse today. I'm hoping the blinkers on gives a little bit more speed and a little bit more focus to this horse, who kind of drifted out a bit in the stretch. So we'll see if that helps to correct that a little bit. There's some other speed in this race potentially on paper. We'll see if this horse can outbreak them and outrun them early. You know, Storm Changer, who won that race last time, didn't get off to the greatest of starts and kind of, was able to run down this horse late. So see what happens. Jorge Abreu's barn's going extremely well so far at this meet. So I'm hoping that Dylan gets this horse out of the gate. Blinkers help this horse focus a little bit, and this horse can get in front and stay in front.
Do you think you're going to get that 6-1? I mean, off of a beaten favorite try last time, 6-1 would be a pretty good price, I think, for your top choice.
We'll see how much money the 2 outside horses take. You got the first-time starter for Chad Brown in there. You got the first-time starter now for Wesley Ward going in there. So those are 2 trainers that are going to take a bit of money, even with a first-time starter. In the 12's case, for Mommy's Turn, it's funny because when you look at this, the Dam was a 2-time New York bred stakes winner sprinting. All the siblings have won, so we'll see what happens. The horse worked 10-1 at the sales. Mendelssohn's a 12% first-time starter. Chad's numbers are a little interesting when you break them down. 11 for 79, 38 in the money, $1.14 ROI with first-time starting 2-year-old fillies sprinting on the dirt. But here at Aqueduct, the numbers are only 3 for 21. So it's kind of a little bit less here and a little bit more at some of the other venues. So we'll see what we get, but I would assume this horse is going to take some money.
Yeah, definitely going to take money towards the outside. The 13 drawing into the race, first-time starter. Talk about that first row. You would add this horse. You said 3rd, 3, 12, 13, 9, 8. But if you added the 13, what do we like here? Obviously, outside of the connections, Wesley Ward and John Velasquez teaming up.
Sure, unraced Dam, but the second Dam did win sprinting on the dirt, so there's that. And Complexity's a 14% first-time starter with 2-year-olds. So you can never count out anything from Wesley Ward. There's some works in there that, of course, show to speed, which Wesley's horses tend to do. So does have the outside draw, does get Johnny Velasquez in here. So I think that's another horse that's going to take some money. So I might just get that 4, 5, 6-1 on my horse.
And round out talking about another first-time starter, Miss American Pie, and you have this horse on the ticket. And again, you have 2-year-olds, New York breds. Really nice to see a big full field of those New York breds, right? Really going out here as 2-year-olds.
Especially this time of the year once you get to December, because sometimes the fields can get a little thin.
Sure.
But they're filled in here. Listen, when you look at this horse, I know that you look at the Dam and the Dam one going longer on the dirt, but the one thing I like about Christoph's horses, especially this time of the year, you see a lot of those 4 and 5 furlong walkouts at Payson Park, and Mig says it all the time, and I agree with him, even going back from when I was a kid. You see those works, Payson Park gets you fit. So I would think that this horse has some fitness and we'll see what we get. McLean's Music's 15% with 2-year-old first-time starters.
All right, Joel Rosario will be aboard there for Christophe Clement. That's the 9 Miss American Pie, 2-year-old filly by McLean's Music, as you pointed out. So you like the firsters kind of underneath, but your top pick is going to be the 3 Blue-Eyed Scout. Still plenty more to come as we go into the 6th race, which will end up being the late pick 4, but we're going to come back right after a quick break, and we'll talk about the late pick 4 and some more stakes racing action right here at Aqueduct.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
And welcome back to Talking Horses here as we get set for the late pick 4 sequence. We talked about the first 5 races on the card. Chris Cribb, joined by Paul Verderosa, jumping into the 6th race. 1 mile is the distance, the starter allowance, and taking a look at that field, a full field of 12 right now as I've got it. You're going to the far outside here with 12 and Melt with you.
I am hoping, A, for a fair racetrack, and B, there's enough pace on paper here that hopefully some of it should materialize, and we'll get the race that we got last time for Melt with you. And I know, listen, I know it was 2 turns last time and it was 1 mile and 1/8, but you go back 3 starts to the race at Laurel. This horse kind of made that same move sweeping, albeit closer than this horse did last time. So I'm hoping for some pace in front and that they mix it up in here. And Sofia Vivas has this horse in good position and just gets this horse to roll late on the outside.
Yeah, she did. There was a rider change earlier for one of Sophia's horses.
The
but,
first race,
but
yeah.
just that one prior, I mean, I haven't heard
everything
anything
so
about a
far.
rider change here.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're taking a look at the 12 there first and then looking at the 3 in Ministerial. John Velasquez, Wesley Ward teaming up again. So I believe maybe today they've got some plans to do some work together here.
Yeah, Wesley's got 2 horses in here, the 3 Ministerial and the 2 Big Waltz. In 3's case, I feel like that this race is a tougher field than what this horse has run against at Churchill and even at Keeneland. But I feel like the cutback in distance to the mile is going to help this horse because this horse has run fine going the mile before. But again, you got to take into consideration it's going to be a Wesley Ward horse. It's going to be John Velasquez. This horse is going to take some money in here. 3rd start off the layoff. This horse does figure in here, and I have the horse 2nd in here. We'll see. This horse will probably, at the end of the day, get first run on my 12. I would think from a pace standpoint. We'll see how it plays out on track, though.
Yeah, has never been over a wet track, the 3, by Uncle Mo. And I don't know, I just, Ministerial, I think this is a horse you do point out, I think definitely can move up here.
Yeah.
I think it'll move up a little bit on the wet track, and we'll see what happens there in today's 6th race. Pick 3rd, you've got the 4 in Register, giving us a price there, 15-1, Dylan Davis aboard.
Yeah, just another off the pace kind of horse. And, you know, when you look at this race and you look at a horse like Confabulation, the 10, who ran in front of Register the last time, you know, Confabulation has had those 2 easy wins on the front end, was able to do things relatively easily, all things considered. Now today stepping up to face a tougher field. I feel like Register was the one who kind of came from off the pace in there and was up a little bit against it. So just a little bit of a price play in there for 3rd. And the other horse that is Wesley's horse, the 2, Big Walt, just want to mention that horse for just a second. When you look at that horse's races, I know the last race when they stretched the horse out to the mile, the horse went wire to wire in there and did it pretty comfortably, got to the top, fought off the other challengers and then drew off. But if you take a look at the debut race over at Turfway Park, the horse did come from off the pace. I know it was synthetic, but this horse has shown that this horse can come off the pace a little bit. We'll see what we get going the mile here today.
All right, we're going to find out what happens in that 6th race. Paul, again, giving you nothing but winners on today's Talking Horses.
From your mouth to God's
There's going to be winners all throughout the card. And make sure you message him if they are winning in bunches.
Yeah.
Not when they don't win, though.
Listen, I take the heat just as good as when I'm doing well. So my swagger's been up lately. So let's just go with.
I like it.
Let's
like
just go
it.
with that.
Calling his shot a little bit. Race number 7, get into the late pick 3, and again, nice big field. Good field sizes here as we get into some of the later days in the year, as you spoke about. Great job, racing offices, always getting the job done. But a field of 12 is signed on once again, and number 3, trust issues. Right now, you don't have any trust issues because you're going to pick the horse on top in race 7.
No, I'm feeling good. So I think
like it.
I think 7 Furlongs is going to let this horse relax a little bit, honestly, and make just one run.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm looking for this horse. So we take a look at the replay here. You know, blinkers on this horse a couple of starts back has seemed to get this horse involved early on, which has been nice to see. And the trainer, Michelle Lavelle, when you look at Michelle's numbers coming here to New York, she's 4 for 8 with a 331 ROI shipping in the last 5 years. So she's batting at 50%. And I think that this horse projects to get a decent enough trip off of some of the pace that's in here, especially going the 7 furlongs. So should be able to relax and make one run in here. So hoping for a little bit of price, get this horse home.
Vetriano does seem like a standout on paper. Why were you playing the 3 over the 11 here? Because the favorite, this is a horse that's 2-1 on the morning line. Maybe some questions, a layoff since October. Brad Cox, Manny Franco teaming up once again here off of a win last time out during the Belmont at Big A meet. Just a short layoff, 3-year-old colt by Liam's map. Why second in this spot and not on top?
So, listen, Vetriano to me is the horse to beat in here. We'll take a look at Vetriano's race. You break this horse down. The horse's 3 races with Lasix are phenomenal. Put up Buyers in 91, 97, 93. Life became a little bit easier last time when excellent timing kind of broke badly and he was able to control easily. Now, listen, the race still came up fast. I'm not going to argue that. But I'm kind of a little bit conflicted here because this horse was entered in Vet Scratch back on November 30th. And now there's a couple of works that have been fast as well. So maybe it was nothing and the horse is fine now. But I just think there's going to be some more pace pressure for this horse in this spot. And I'm just thinking this horse is going to be short priced. We've seen Brad Cox horses take a lot of money. And listen, this one might be the goods, and this one might just be faster than all of them and perform. But at a short price and some other speed in here, I'm willing to just take a little bit of a shot against this horse. But this horse is the horse to beat.
And red hot connections in the 10 Skylander. You get Dylan Davis for Rick Dutrow, who's been just on fire this meet, and off of those 2 wins. This is a horse that's 7-2 again. Provides you a little bit of value there, and you pick this horse 3rd.
Listen, this horse took money early last time and ran a huge race. I mean, you can't argue that. Dylan got busy on him early, too, so I wonder if he needed a little bit of pick-me-up. But the horse was just much the best last time out. And now we've seen, actually, in the last 5 starts, the numbers trending back up. And last time out was a career best figure. So will this horse bounce off that figure or not? We'll see. Rick Duttrow's barn's been going extremely well, as we've seen, and here's a horse who can just sit from off the pace and make that one run. So I just thought there was a pricier option in here to take a shot, and that shot was the 3.
Race number 8 is the 47th running of the Alex M. Robb, $100,000. 1 mile is the distance. And taking a look at this field, we're going to scratch the number 4 in Neural Network. And familiar names, horses that we've seen run on the circuit, so we're obviously very familiar with these New York breds in this spot. And taking a look at horses like Olympic Dreams comes to mind. You see El Grande O, who he spoke about, Bank Frenzy, Sheriff Bianco, names we're very familiar with here on the circuit, so they get one more crack at it here in this 2024 season, and a nice race in the Alex M. Robb at that 1 mile, and you ended up going with the number 7, Bank Frenzy.
Yeah, you know, when you take a look at Bank Frenzy, we'll take a look at Bank Frenzy's last race. I mean, 4 to 5 was a gift, you know, on this horse when you think about this. And, you know, once this horse got in the clear, he just made that nice run after he settled and was just way too much for this group. So he always kind of gets off a step slow. It didn't hurt him last time, you know, didn't put himself out of the race, so he didn't have as much to do. I like him today. I'm hoping he keeps El Grande O within range because my assumption is going to be that El Grande O is going to be in the front, stretching out. He's a nice horse. There's nothing you can knock about him. I think today is the right spot for him, and he'll get the right trip off of El Grande O.
Okay, you do still have El Grande O on the ticket, though, in multi-leg wagers. Would you still be including El Grande O?
Yeah, I would use all of the 3, 5, and 7 in this spot. For me,
make a case for the 5 Doc Sullivan. We talked about El Grande O being the target. Do you think that horse will be right up there with the front? Doc Sullivan, what kind of trip are you seeing there off of a 4th beaten 4 last time? But it was the first race off since September, so maybe second start off short layoff.
Yeah, he just didn't have it last time, and he didn't look very comfortable either. He was kind of climbing a bit and kind of resenting some of the mud back in his face. It just was not one of his better efforts because he's done well on off tracks before. So I'm thinking that even though the race set up for him perfectly last time, he just didn't have it. It was probably an off day for him. He's much more capable of better, and maybe second off the layoff, we will get that effort from him from off the pace. And as far as, getting back to El Grande for a second, I mean, listen, it was really good to see this horse come back the way he did, for Linda Rice and put together two super stakes quality races, running 94 and 97 Buyers sprinting. I know that he did well, being a part of the Triple Crown Trail here in New York earlier and stretching out, running the mile and an eighth distance. I am just not sold on him going this long.
Okay.
Now, I know the Sleepy Hollow was a race he won at a mile, but he was way the horse to beat in there and odds on and got the job done. He's going to be in front in here. He should be unless somebody is on a mission. But I just wonder if he's ultimately a better 6.5, 7 furlong horse than a mile. We're going to find out today. I just thought the 3, the 5, and the 7 were the 3 horses to go at, and I just ended up with the 7 on top.
Yeah, and it does set up like you get to the end of the year, you talk about 3-year-olds, and yeah, of course you get some Derby dreams early on in the season when you start winning some of those races where you can get points. But after that, you do start to say, okay, what is this 3-year-old really best at? And you're trying to answer that question today in whether you think that the horse is a little bit better sprinting, some of those sprint distances, and whether the miles is going to be a touch too far. And from a wagering standpoint, if the horse is going to be 8-5 on the morning line like that, you're willing to take the bet against right now that horse can't get the distance.
In some ways, seeing how the race has turned up, I almost think that this is an easier spot than the Gravesend early on. But I also feel like the distance may have been better for El Grande and the Gravesend as opposed to here. We'll find out because this horse's last 2 races, if this horse could stretch back out successfully to the mile and run one of the last 2 races, this horse is the horse to beat.
All right, we're going to find out what happens in the Alex M. Robb this afternoon. Race number 9 to close things out. It's going to be 6.5 furlongs. Scratch the 1A, scratch the 11. Some rider changes. Keeper Co is going to be on the 1. Lane Leslie's going to be on the 10. Where'd you land here in the 9th race? Looks like you're going with the 7 in King's Spirit.
Yeah, originally I was on the 11 MG Dash, and I kind of scratched into the 7 in here. So this horse coming in from Finger Lakes, dropping in class. A couple of keys to this. Number 1, this horse definitely needs a better start than he got last time because he got off a little bit slow. So definitely looking for a better start in here. It's first time versus New York bred. You take a look at the horses that this horse ran against in the debut. Puckish ran a 73 Buyer speed figure drawing off in that race. Storm and Sammy ran second in that race, came back here, ran third as a speed horse who got rated and ended up running third down here. Kind of deserved, I think, a better shake. So we'll see what we get. Greg Sacco scratched the 11, kept the 7 in. Satin Savaji is going to ride. For those who don't know who he was leading rider at Woodbine for the meet. So solid rider, going to try New York for the winter. So looking forward to having him down here. And we'll see what we get out of this horse today. I'm for a mid-pack trip. I don't think this horse is going to be super forward in here. I'm just hoping for a nice settling trip and a 1 run at a price.
Nice job, brother. Well done as always, Paul Verderosi. He's going to have his selections throughout the afternoon when horses are in the paddock. And we've got some great racing action coming your way. 9 races on today's card here at Aqueduct. And don't forget all the great things that you can do along with that at Naira Bets, of course. You can head on over to Naira Bets and pick up that deposit bonus. Deposit match sign-up bonus, $200. Bonus $200. Go to nairabets.com. Also got Track Stats. Track Stats, you can bet smarter and win bigger. Bet the action at Aqueduct with weekly track trends, stats, and betting insights at nairabets.com. 10 times rewards points. Head on over to Hong Kong. Late at night. Past my bedtime.
Mine too, but if there's something going on and I'm up, I'll play. I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy, Chris.
Every race day in December, 10 times the rewards points. Head on over to nairabets.com again for all those rewards points on Hong Kong racing. Hit it and split it, right? Good memory, Chris. Hit the late pick 5 at Aqueduct, $10,000. Split it, hit it, split it. Opt in at nairabets.com. And, of course, you can watch all the great racing action on TV. Oh, cross-country pick 5.
Yeah,
bad memory, Chris. Good Chris, bad Chris. You got both of them right there. Aqueduct race 8, the Alex M. Robb Stakes, where Paul was talking about some of his top selections in there. That's going to start the sequence. Cross-country pick 5. It's the last 2 races here at Aqueduct, and then races 7, 8, and 9 at Oaklawn. Make sure you get involved in the cross-country pick 5. Starts at 3:35 p.m. Eastern, approximately Nice track. Cross country right here in Oaklawn. I haven't seen the conditions at Oaklawn. Looks like a little rainy there too. So
At Oaklawn, yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like they've got a little water on that track
little
right
wet
now.
weather, so handicap for the wet stuff there here and at Oaklawn. And you can watch all the racing action on America's Day at the Races. It's coming up not too far away, right here on FS2, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and then on FS1, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. You on the show?
No, today I am not.
Oh, not today.
Not today.
All right. You've done a great job.
They've had enough of me
Ah,
today with this.
Paul, all day long, man. Bringing those winners. Had 3 winners yesterday. More winners here to come this afternoon. I'm done. You're done. I'm going to be heading up to the booth. We're going to have a reprise of the scratches and changes, so we'll have that to you very shortly. We'll have the national anthem as well. And while I'm here, I don't get many opportunities. Happy New Year to you,
Yes,
brother.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to everybody out there as well, because I am done until the new year.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
So Paul's out of here. He's headed out of here as fast as he can. But thank you to the crew and everybody that works right
Yes,
here at the New York
100%.
Racing Association as well. And I'm sure Andy Serling is ready to get back in this seat, too. He's looking forward to that when he returns to get back here on
I'm
Talking
sure
Horses.
he will be ready.
I'm
And
gonna-
also to everybody out there, too, all our wagerers and fans as well.
Love
Happy New
that.
Year.
All right, that's it for Talking Horses. I'm headed upstairs. Reprise of the scratches and changes and the national anthem. It's coming up, and 9 races here, Sloppy Main Track at Aqueduct. Good luck and Happy New Year.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.